Hey and welcome to Not Only Hollywood. Today I'm going to review Warrior Season 1 from 2019. This is an American TV series. The first season of Warrior consists of 10 episodes. The series is based on the idea of Bruce Lee, and we all know what happened when he never got the chance to make this series. You should know if you're watching this. Shame on you if you don't know. If you don't know what happened, then you have something called Google. A Chinese immigrant who's good at fighting ends up in the middle of a war between the Tongs in Chinatown. Tongs. The Tongs. Where there is an ongoing power struggle. The police feel powerless. They can't control the Tongs. And the Irish do not appreciate the Chinese, so they do everything to destroy the Chinese. But it's not so easy, as the Chinese are many, so there are some unwritten rules one should follow to keep the city calm. This was a series I have been looking forward to watching, and I can't say disappointed. Besides the protagonist, there are actually quite a few interesting characters and groups in Warrior. We have the cops, where the central cop in the series has gambling problems, and his new partner has a secret he has escaped from. The protagonist is looking for his sister in Chinatown, and he gets a shock when he finds her, because he doesn't recognize her anymore. Yeah. Then we have the whore mom, who is brutal if someone has done her or her horse wrong. Oh. And then we have the companion of the protagonist, who is the son of a powerful Tong leader that the protagonist joins. He is skillful with knives. That man is dangerous with knives. Then we have some politicians who are using their power in a not so good way. Ugh. Politicians, ugh. And there's a woman who has married the nasty mayor of the city, and he cannot have sex with her because she hates him. Surprise! Everyone hates a politician. Then we have the Irish, who are led by a tough guy who can fight, and he hates the Chinese with all of his heart. He seems like a decent guy who's just trying to protect his own in a tough world, but he doesn't like the Chinese. You can't complain that nothing is happening in Warrior. Something happens all the time, as it has so many groups and central characters. You never feel like the series is losing control, which is important when there are so many groups we follow. Most people know how the Chinese were treated at this time, and the racism we are seeing is nauseating and disgusting. It never ends. The ones that get hurt the most are the ordinary Chinese workers who fall between two stools. If the Chinese Tongs do things that damage the reputation of the city or harm white people, oh no, don't harm white people, then everything will be worse for the poor workers. They already live in hell, so they don't need more trouble and racism in everyday life. What most people want to see is good fight scenes, and we get to see that in Warrior. The violence is very graphic, which surprised me. I can't believe Bruce Lee would show this kind of graphic violence, but that's the way it is now, and I love it. I love the best friend of the protagonist who loves to stab people in combat. He spends about 1 second to stab a person 20 times. I love this character. Oh, I love this character. Fortunately, a new season of Warrior is coming, and I hope it won't be the last. For this was a very entertaining season with a lot of good characters I like to follow. From 1 to 10, I give Warrior Season 1 a 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Sleep well.